Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be taking a little peek into some historic Brawl, and we're going to be playing around with this wonderful little Jhoira Weatherlight Captain deck. So, 4 mana for a 3/3, whenever you cast a historic spell, you get to draw a card, and for those who don't know, historic cards are artifact, legendary spells, and sagas. So that is pretty much what this deck almost entirely consists of. This is a combo deck at heart, and the main way that we're going to be winning is by slapping down an Omniscience. We've got a few ways to go about doing that as well. The purpose of Omniscience is to make all of our spells free, so when Jhoira draws a card off of something like a Witching Well, the way that we've built the deck should hopefully mean that we're either going to draw a land, hopefully not, or we're going to draw another historic spell, so we get to keep chaining with Jhoira. We've also got a few cards, obviously, that are both historic and draw a card and replace themselves, so things like Narset is going to be able to draw a card off Jhoira, find another card, which we can then draw again. We've got things like One with the Machine to draw 1,000,000 cards, Antiquities War on the extra turns to find extra artifacts, so this will draw a card and then it'll find 2 more in theory. And we're going to be winning with either a Jhoira's Immolating Inferno, which we can go red X to deal X damage to up to 3 targets. It needs a legendary permanent in play, but half of our deck is good old legendaries. I'm sure we've got either a Jhoira, a Eugene, a Chandra, or an Emery at some point. I don't know why I've got Emery in here. I keep cutting her and she keeps finding a way back into this deck. I don't think Emery's a good card for this deck. I think you should probably cut her. The only upside is that she's a 1-mana spell at times and she can fetch out Mox Ambers, but the downside is if you hit Omniscience and you roll that over, you're in big trouble, because then you're going to have to win the fair way. The alternative fair way to win the game is by using like Sunbird's Invocation, which allows you to cast a historic spell and then look at the top X, where that X is that mana cost, and then cast another card. So if we play Gilded Lotus, for example, we get to look at the top 5 and cast any 5 mana cost card or lower. We also have Mass Manipulation as another alternative win con. If our opponent has a lot of good board states and they look like they're about to win, then we win instead. Really hate this card, but kind of works for the deck, so we're going to be running it. But yeah, we're going to be running out Omniscience, trying to ramp into it. Obviously, artifacts are historic spells, and artifacts generally are very good mana rocks, so every turn we're going to be going up by 2 mana hopefully, so it's going to be quite easy to get to the 10 mana for Omniscience. Have other ways to get to it as well. The primary way that we want to get to it is Storm the Vault. Storm the Vault being a legendary enchantment that flips over into Vault of Catlacan when you've got 5 or more artifacts. Obviously, not going to be difficult to pull that off. We can also make Servos and Thopters with Saheeli and Sai to do that. And it adds blue for each artifact you control. So we're going to be able to make this generate a metric ton of mana. So we take an extra turn with Khan's Temporal Sundering to untap that land, and then we've got our Expansion Explosion or our Jhoira's Immolating Inferno to hit our opponent in the face. When you're comboing off, 9 times out of 10 you are going to draw pretty much your entire deck. I've found from experience not many people actually let you play out the combo, so you won't have to worry about it too much. But yes, you will draw your entire deck, so you're going to see every single card that you see right here during today's video, no doubt, because I'll keep playing until someone actually lets me play the combo. It's usually how Mana Burn goes, and that's how this one's going to go as well. Other than that, the interaction is going to be through Sweepers and Mass Bounce. We've got the first Eruption, which allows us to get rid of 1/1s on the Chapter 1. The Chapter 2 gives us a little bit of ramp, which can be really useful, and then the Chapter 3 is basically a Deafening Clarion without the lifelink part of it, dealing 3 damage to each creature. It's going to hit a Jhoira, and it's also going to force you to sacrifice a mountain. Bear in mind that is not a May ability, but it goes really well with the Jhoira being a Saga. The extra mana could be all we need as well, just to ramp out into that Omniscience, and therefore we won't get to the Chapter 3 for it to matter. So we're running that card. We've got Storm's Wrath as well, and then Flood of Tears and River's Rebuke. Flood of Tears, the best way to get Omniscience into play. If we can cast Flood of Tears and have 4 or more permanents in play, likely to be mana rocks, then we actually get to put Omniscience into play. And I'm sure most of you have seen the Flood of Tears Omniscience combo. I've played it once on the channel before as well, so check that out if you haven't yet done so. But yes, once Omniscience is in play, draw our entire deck, kill our opponent on the extra turn with Counter Temporal Sundering. So that's essentially the deck. I'm not going to go into it any further than that. Hopefully you guys enjoy the matchups. If you do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Leave a comment down below to help with the engagement on the video, because unfortunately with the whole situation, this is now my full-time job, so really appreciate anyone who likes to help out. Simple thing as just leaving a comment, hitting that like button, and maybe sharing the video if you're interested in doing that. Without further ado though, let's move on. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button below the video or check out the Patreon link down in the description below. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Wow, okay, this is going to be interesting. We're up against Jhoira Weatherlight, Captain. So if you haven't seen this card, clearly you skipped the beginning of the video and the title and everything else. Can we keep this hand? Can we keep this? I guess we can. Nice. Hello as well. Oh yeah, we can keep this, alright. Yeah, let's just Zelfrine Void, I guess. I think we'll bottom. On the off chance that we get ourselves a Mind Stone or an Arcane Signet, that's going to really benefit us. One with the treasure map. Alright, we got one with the machine. That's fine. Okay, so we do want to get down Jhoira before we start casting loads of stuff. Our opponent's going to get there first, so that's something to consider. Might want to Tails End our opponent's Jhoira first. Yeah, I think maybe. The only problem is that they can treasure map instead of actually doing things, so they've got something to do with their turn while we do not. But hopefully they just play out Jhoira and then we Tails End it and then we get to do whatever we want. Wasn't the case. Yeah. Okay, well, we could take our chances that they don't have counter magic. I mean, I don't really have counter magic in my deck, but no reason to suggest our opponent doesn't. No, they don't. Do they have removal? Because I don't really have that in my deck either. They have, like, sweepers, and that's pretty much it. Sweepers and mass bounce. I'm trying not to interact with our opponent much, if we can help it. Ew. Okay, Lava Coil kills Jhoira. That's fine. We're at a nice little spot now, though, where we can actually play stuff out and still Tails End. So I think maybe we want to go Araska Relic. And then we still have Tails End open. We're progressing our mana so we can cast Jhoira sooner rather than later. But our opponent has a lot of mana now with Treasure Map flipping. A lot of mana, a lot of card draw if they want it. There's Jhoira. Do they have a counter magic? They may do. Sinister Sabotage, yeah, okay. Well, that got them to use a little bit of the treasures, I suppose. We could actually Storm's Wrath here and be quite happy with that. Ooh, Spell Swindle. Yeah, what about Storm's Wrath Emery? Let's give it a shot. Yeah, opponent's got no counter magic left. Good. And then we'll go Emery, hope to hit an artifact we can cast out of the graveyard, like Mox or, you know, Mind Stone's pretty good. That means we can play Jhoira, and then we've got an artifact in the bin to cast. Or we could draw 3 with 1 with the machine. There's Omniscience. So we could do 3 to each creature with the first eruption. It's going to be a little slow, though. I think maybe we take our chances. Then again, What happens if we were to just counter our opponent's spell? If I went Mind Stone, boop, boop, cast Mind Stone, pass the turn with Spell Swindle open. Opponent goes to cast a big thing, I counter it and get 1,000,000 mana, perhaps. Alright. 4 treasures, seems good. Opponent does get to draw a card, but that's fine. Now we've got 5, 6, 10, 11 mana here, so our opponent's tapped out, we go Omniscience, we win the game. In theory. Opponent is doing a thing right now, so... It's a case of finding out if they can or not. Summoning Sickness on that Weatherlight, unfortunately, unless they've got something to do with it here. They've gone second main, so they can't really, like, haste it up. Alright, Thematic Compi. Makes a Maze of Ith. Yeah, I think we've won now. So we got Omniscience. Because Sunbird's Invocation is just going to mean that we can play a hell of a lot of our deck. So we play Sunbird's Invocation. We play... Oh, Saheeli first, actually. Look at the top 3, cast it if it's 3 or less. Then we play 1 with the machine. Look at the top 4, cast it if it's 4 or less. From there, 1 with the machine draws us 3 cards. Probably going to get something. Those 3 cards we can cast off Omniscience, and then whatever their mana cost is, we can cast off the top of those. And I think we can storm our way to a victory there. We've even got our Emery in play, which means if we hit Karn's Temporal Sundering at any point during the draw, we get to take an extra turn, untap, play Jhoira, keep going, something like that. Anyway, good mirror match. Fought through some counter magic. Her opponent playing the more fair version, I suppose, and punished them on the tap out. Alrighty then, we're in. Eventually the game kicks in. For some reason, sometimes direct challenges can be a little bit weird when it comes to starting up the game, but we're here. I kinda have a love-hate relationship with this particular hand. Zalfrin Void is the reason why I think I'm keeping it, because if I get my 3rd land, then obviously we can get into our mana docks, and then a Spell Swindle can just ramp our mana out like crazy. It's going to be pretty good. I think we're going to take this. We're up against Corvold, Fey Cursed King, Jund colors and 2 for a 4/4 flyer. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you sacrifice another permanent, and then when you've sacrificed a permanent, you put a counter on Corvold and draw a card. So we are in Historic as well, should be noted, so there are a few more sacrifice options available than there normally would be in Standard. We definitely do not want that card. I'm just going to shove that one straight down to the bottom. Okay, so we got a little bit unlucky with our top deck. Single time it's not a land, we're going to get a little bit unlucky. Because we really want all the lands. Alright, so we got Sulphur Falls, which is good. Means we can go probably Chromatic Lantern, or is it Locket? I don't think it really matters either which way. Ooh, Krenko. That's going to have to be left unattended for a little while. But we are ramping out into an eventual River's Rebuke, so as long as Krenko himself doesn't get too large, it shouldn't really matter all that much. So we're going to go Chromatic Lantern here. Pass the turn. Opponent will play their 4th land. If we draw a land off the top, we can hold open Spell Swindle for Corvold and get 5 tokens. That'll put us straight up to 10 mana, and then if we draw Omniscience, we just win on the spot, which is kind of hilarious. Woodland Champion, though, is a big worry for me. Gonna really need that land. And this is exactly why. We got the land. And, yeah, we're just gonna have to, is it Locket here, I think. Boop, boop. And I guess we could play Sai as a blocker. Could stop the Direfleet Hoarder at the very least, or we could use it to chump block. I'm not entirely sure which one we want to do just yet. We definitely want to be River's Rebuking, though. Alright, so Corvold kills a token, I'm assuming. Might go for the Hoarder, I guess. Hoarder makes treasure, so that's okay. Yeah, I think we're chump blocking Woodland Champion and just going for a River's Rebuke to reset the game a little. Because all of this is a little too much for us to handle right now, and it's going to cost them a lot to actually replay their entire deck here. I don't think I'm that invested in a Psy either, so I think I'm more invested in my life total not being 8 less. And yeah, that's going to be the pass. Alright, so we got Mox Amber, so we can play that off of a Jhoira. Leaves us with 3 mana, which is not enough. We're just going to have to go straight for the River's Rebuke here and take the tokens off the board, reset Corvold and Woodland Champion. And also get rid of their treasure that they sacrificed their Direfleet Hoarder for. Okay, so pass the turn. Yeah, it's an awkward one because we're a little bit on the back foot, I'd say. Being at 16 now is a really awkward time to be alive. Alright, so they've got Rapacious Dragon as their go-to here. Makes 2 treasures. And then they're going to go Woodland Champion off of that. Okay. We have Temple of Epiphany. So we have 3 mana after the Mox. We could try get 4 mana by not playing the Temple and going for a blind play. 4 mana allows me to Storm the Vault, but it doesn't really gain me anything though. So I think we'll go for the Temple here. Bottom the Mirror Maid. We're going to need some high impact cards. Play Mox Amber. It's a Midnight Clock. Okay, so we get to redraw again. Get Gilded Lotus. Okay. So this is free after we play Eugene, so that's something to keep in mind. We've also got a Storm the Vault, which is going to be flipped. But just because it's flipped doesn't mean we can do much good with it. I mean, we could do Storm the Vault, and then when it flips, we've got Spell Swindle open. It's definitely an option. I imagine our opponent's just gonna... Well... Yeah, this isn't on the attack, it's on combat damage, so they don't make the token until after they attack, so they can't really offer a trade with Jhoira, which obviously we wouldn't be taking. And then they get to play a 3-drop. Oh, it's going to be Costly Plunder. Okay. Draw more cards. We have Sahili. Okay, so we're going to go Eugene. Draw a card. Get Command Tower. It's a fine draw, I suppose. Play Command Tower. Play Gilded Lotus. I'm manually tapping certain stuff, because if they killed a Chromatic Lantern, I'd rather have actual mana held open. And then we can go Storm the Vault, which will flip and allow us to hold open Spell Swindle. And we could kill Rapacious Dragon, or we could just tick up. I like ticking up, I think. Opponent's not going to be able to kill Eugene. He's going to go to 1. Yeah, I think we'll tick up. Sunbird's Invocation. Oh my goodness. Okay. Pass the turn. Flip into the Vault of Catlacan, which is tapping for 5 mana right now, so we can Spell Swindle off of that, which will hopefully double the amount that Vault can do, and then we'll find some cool thing to do with all that mana. Okay. So going after face, that's worrying. I am going to block the champion, because I really want that card underneath. Okay, so we're at 8. They make a treasure. What are they planning on doing with this? If they're going all out, I've got a Spell Swindle. Mayhem Devil. It's probably worth countering, honestly. Yeah, I think I will. If they add anything else to the board, it's likely going to be something that I can kill with Eugene. Maybe it's just bait to kill Jhoira, though. I think that's fine, though. Sack a Planeswalker. Totally fine. Yeah, I just need to kill this Rapacious Dragon. Because it's going to cost me a lot. Ooh, Khan's Temporal Sundering. That's a good one. Okay. So, let's see. We want to go Saheeli, draw a card. I think we win. I think we're going to win. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Maybe not on that one, actually. On this one. 3. Araska Relic. Make a servo. Draw a card. Antiquities War. With 6 mana left open. Get Sweetwater Cliffs. Okay, grab Treasure Map. Play Treasure Map. Draw a card, make a servo. Get an island, we're whiffing. Don't like it when we whiff. Alright. Scry, Field of the Dead to the bottom. A little poorly timed on that Field of the Dead, I think. Does this need to tap? It does. So don't do what you're planning on doing, game. 4, 5, 6. Take an extra turn. Bounce. Rapacious Dragon, I guess. It's the one we can't block. Does make them treasures. Actually, we could bounce this token. Omniscience. Oh, yes. Play Sunbird's Invocation off of that. Okay, we might be able to do something disgusting now. Pass the turn with our extra turn. We've got a treasure map hidden in here somewhere, so we can use that to increase the odds of us drawing something good for Omniscience, but we're hitting off of Omniscience anyway, so that's fine. Put a counter on. All the lands. Get Witching Well. So we're going to play Island. Omniscience. 5 mana floating. Look at the top 10 cards and cast that spell. I think it's 1 with the machine. Let's draw a 5, I think. Because we got Gilded Lotus. Wow, all the lands. You just really hate to see that. Alright, Arcane Signet for free. Draw a card. Look at the top 2. Miss. Tezzeret. I guess we could do Witching Well so we can scry, draw a card. Hitting Mass Manipulation. Wow, have we, how did we know about that card? Interesting. Have we gone that far through? Ooh, Flood of Tears. Probably don't need that. Jaya's Immolating Inferno, that looks pretty good. Yeah, let's take Jaya's Immolating Inferno. We're going to make a copy of Gilded Lotus. Actually, because of the way we've done it, it's not going to matter. I want to decline those. Gilded Lotus. I'm going to play Tezzeret. Look at the top 5. Draw a card. Should have ordered that differently because we knew we didn't want the card. We whiffed again, wow. Then we're gonna draw.
I know how this ends.
kind of whiff again. Can't make this up. Firemine's Vessel. Thank God. Top 4. Come on now. Help me. It's gotta be Emery. Got Narset, okay. Still going. There's Jhoira's Immolating Inferno. From there, could use that to wipe the board. And then dig to Expansion Explosion later. Hope our opponent doesn't have, like, Banefire or something. Whiff. Draw. Narset. Activate.
Meditate and prepare.
Chandra or Khan. Doesn't really matter. I think we'll just go Khan. Play Khan. What are we at now? 9 cards. Play Search for his Canter. We don't want to deck ourselves. Ooh, Star of Extinction. It's an option. Make it 2/2. And then I think we just want to Jhoira's Immolating Inferno for... How much have we got, actually? I haven't really even done the math. Maybe we've already got lethal. Red. Blue. 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 I think we might have it already. All the blue. Target artifact you control becomes a copy of Gilded Lotus. More blue. And we've got blue, 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 green, blue, more blue. And yeah, that looks about right. So we go Jhoira's Immolating Inferno, X25. That. Auto pay. 6 cards left. 25 over 3 different cards. We'll play Chandra. We'll draw some more cards. Storm's Wrath, sure. And draw another card. And then 25 our opponent. 3 cards left. We drew our entire deck. Oh, good stuff. So that's actually how you combo. That's the first opponent that has ever allowed us to combo. We got very close to losing there, but yeah, it was just 1 turn's all we need, and then we play our entire deck off of a good old Sunbird's Invocation. Khan's Temporal Sundering is really important for that kind of thing, because you need to be able to untap to get good use out of your cards. He also had a little bit of a swing there as well. I'm not sure how much combat damage we could have dealt, but we had a 34-34 ready to go. Opponent has to deal with all of that. But yeah, good stuff. All right, might have time for another game. I don't know. I'll have to check. Alrighty then, we're in, and we're in for a treat by the looks of things. We've got a very expensive hand, but if we could get to this Gilded Lotus, I can actually see us doing a lot. Opponent's playing a deck that is very close to my heart. This is a Jhoira Archmage Eternal, a 5-colour commander that actually should be how 5-colour commander Brawl goes, but I think we're going to keep this. There's a lot that could go right with this one. Hello, opponent. So Jhoira Archmage Eternal is a 4 mana in Jeskai colours. However, this is a 5-colour commander because the 5-colour symbols are in its rules text. So that makes it 5-colour. We're going to go with... don't think it really matters too much. We've got like double red here, but we're not going to need that. I think we need double blue before anything else. Yes, anyway, the 5 colour pips are right here, which make it a 5 colour commander. It says you may pay Wooburg all of the colours of mana, rather than pay the mana cost for spells that you cast. So this is a deck that I've played on the channel before, I think. I've certainly played it on stream quite a lot. And in mine, it's very much a meme deck. You get down Jhoira, and then you essentially have everything that costs more than 5 that is worth playing. And it's so much fun, because you just get to absolutely go off with this nonsense. Like, drop down Sunbird's Invocation, and then after that, drop down Omniscience for 5 mana, things like that. So it's very important that we deal with Jhoira as soon as possible, specifically if they've already got 5 colours of mana, which they've done right here. The unfortunate situation is, I don't really have a way to deal with him. So we're just going to have to hope that we either top deck it, or our opponent doesn't play him here, and then we get to Spell Swindle Jhoira. I don't see our opponent actually playing around with him that much. I imagine they're just going to throw him down, short of them not having any good cards in their hand, I guess. Ooh, Sunbird's Invocation coming down. That's real bad for us, but also can be just fine. We're going to go with Alpha and Void, because we're just going to set up the next card. Tail's End. I think we want Tail's End, because if we use it to counter Jhoira, that's fine. We could also use it to counter the Sunbird's Invocation trigger as well, which may be very important depending on what our opponent casts. So we have the Spell Swindle to counter whatever our opponent does here, and we're going to get the mana equal, treasures equal to its mana cost. So right off the bat, going to get rid of Jhoira. And it's not going to trigger Sunbird's Invocation because this is cast from your hand, so that's one of the few occasions where we can really benefit. Oko Thief of Crowns is banned in Historic Brawl, but we're going to let that one slip because I don't think our opponent realizes that they're playing banned cards. Usually I will auto-scoop to this because it's banned and they should know better. But it is Jhoira after all, so we're just going to let it slip for now. I think I'm just going to go Gilded Lotus. The annoying thing is that they've got... They can turn my Gilded Lotus into an elk, can't they? Yeah. Which is stupid. Good Star of Extinction. I don't think it gets us very anywhere good, though. I think I'm just going to Gilded Lotus. I really don't want to play Jhoira into Oko. Could go one with the machine here to be mana efficient. We're going to draw 5 cards. And then we've got the Tail's End on the treasures. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's fine, because if we draw Omniscience, we just win. We didn't, but that's okay. So now we're just going to pass the turn, discard Blast Zone, I think. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But again, if our opponent just casts Jhoira here, then they're not going to get a Sunbird's Invocation trigger. So they probably want to play around that kind of thing. Never mind, they do not. So we're going to counter that. Stop Sunbird's Invocation from doing a thing yet again. I mean, maybe this is the time to actually kill Oko if they turn that food token into a 3/3. I could maybe see it being a good idea to go for that. Probably likely to go after my Gilded Lotus, though. It does produce a lot of mana. I just noticed to put Jhoira in the graveyard. Interesting.
It's not poison.
What could that mean? That could mean a hell of a lot of different things. It might mean that I have to get Oko off the board, because if it's the black reanimation spell, the legendary sorcery, that kills a creature and reanimates one. A creature or planeswalker and reanimates one, specifically. So getting Oko off the board might be good for that reason. It's a tough one. It might also just be really good for us to just go for like Jhoira, Saheeli, Emery, draw loads of cards, try find that Omniscience. I think that's what we're going to go with. I think we're just going to try and get Jhoira value. I mean, once she's turned into an elk, it is what it is, I suppose. Alright, then we'll play Emery. Draw a card. It's Eugene. That's a good one. Mill over some cards. And we did not hit Omniscience, which is really good. Emery is a little bit of a worry for that reason. It's weird, because I did cut Emery out of this deck, and she just seems to turn up again all of a sudden. I don't understand. Every single time I change this deck, she's right on back. But yeah, Emery should probably not be in this deck, since we need Omniscience real bad, and having it in our graveyard, it does us no good whatsoever. Okay, so this Oko, he is quite broco. He's going to turn Jhoira into an elk.
Why do you cross?
Oh, exchange control. Okay. Guess that also works. We got a food token. Yeah, I mean, if they're going all in on the legendaries, then that's going to matter. Primeval's Glorious Rebirth. There you go. And then they get a Sunbird's Invocation for 7, which is Flood of Tears? Is that what we're going with? Oh no, Eugene's in there. I didn't spot Eugene. Yeah, we're going to Star of Extinction like crazy here. This is a really good hit for us now. So our patience has been somewhat rewarded. Make a 2/2, unfortunate. There's no land here, I think, that actually cuts them off of anything. They've got doubles of all of their mana. Growth Spiral, Assassin's Trophy they get to hit. Hit my Saheeli. Yes! Alright, she's dead anyway. I mean, we could copy that. That would have been an option. We'd actually be able to hit Sunbird's Invocation. I probably should have done that, right? I don't think I get the chance anymore, because it's resolved. Yeah. Yeah, well. Should have hit Sunbird's Invocation there. We do get a treasure map scry now, though. Okay, so treasure map. It's not going to set us up anything for next turn, but the turn after, perhaps it will. I don't think Chandra's high enough impact. And fortunately for us, we still have Eugene to kill Sunbird's Invocation. So let's have a look. See, we've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 mana to spend. That works out quite well, doesn't it? Actually, it's 14 with Vantress, so we can afford to treasure map. I'm actually not sure on that one. Let's make sure that we just draw what we want first. Yeah, so we get to Star of Extinction, which leaves us with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, so we can Eugene Chromatic Lantern. We want to Emery first, because there's a relic in here that I want to cast. So now we go Star of Extinction. And again, I don't think there's a land here that really matters. I'm just going to go with the blue-white one, I think. And then see what happens. I do have expansion if they have like a Disdainful Stroke. I can copy the Disdainful Stroke and use it to counter itself. We're going after my Gilded Lotus. So that I can copy and go after their Sunbird's Invocation. So my Tap Lotus dies. They get nothing. We wipe the board. Command Zone for Jhoira. Opponent does get whatever's under Eugene. Yeah, I'm a little short on mana now to cast Eugene, but that's okay. We'll just catch him on the flip side. I think getting rid of Sunbird's Invocation is super important there anyway. I don't want to use my treasures. I need all the mana I can get. Now we're just going to treasure map and start digging for Omniscience at this point. They've got Field of the Dead, which is totally fine. Opponent just doesn't really have anything. We'll see what this last card is. It has to be a high impact card, otherwise they're kind of in trouble. Jhoira does not want to be playing off the top of the deck. It's a Villis. Okay. Alright. Well, I might trade off my Eugene for that. Gonna activate Treasure Map. Do not want an island. And my turn. Tap Zalfrin Void, flip the Treasure Map and get an Upkeep Scry. Come on, good card. Search for Escanto will not do. Get 3 treasures off the flip map. Yeah, I think it's Eugene, kill Villis. Goodbye, Villis.
You have erred.
They can pay 2 to draw 2. Alright, hopefully they're not too good. Oh, that's 1 mana? I thought it was 2 mana. God damn. Draw 4. That's real powerful. Okay, well, then we're going to go Jhoira. Use our treasures a little bit. It's a blocker to keep Eugene alive. We'll trade a treasure to get a redraw on Chromatic Lantern. Digging for Omniscience, which is not doing a great deal right now, unfortunately. But that's just going to have to do. We get to draw off Treasure Cove. Somewhat of a draw off of Eugene. This is such an iffy situation where it can just go horribly wrong if our opponent has 1 good card in that 4. We've made a few little mistakes along the way. Goes without saying. But I think we're holding down the fort just a fair bit, which is not too bad. I really just need to chain with Jhoira, get loads of artifacts or something that are getting cost reduction off of Eugene. Well, Storm the Vault could win us the game. It is certainly possible. I'm just going to play Sulphur Falls. I think it's about the best land we could actually find here. Let's draw an extra card. Got Midnight Clock. Okay. Eugene, tick up. Sunbird's Invocation is a fantastic card. We're going to favour lands first before artifacts, because some of these draw cards, which could be important. The game wants to favour... Oh. Okay, then. That might make all the difference in the world. We'll see. I mean, Storm the Vault, free spell. First Eruption, free spell. There's Tezzeret. Tezzeret draws 2. And draws 1 off the cast as well. Draw 2 cards. Come on, these need to chain into more historic spells. There we go, that's the stuff. Alright, Khan's Temporal Sundering probably means we win. Got Antiquities War, that chains into more spells. We'll get that down. we're going to get to untap with Storm the Vault and hopefully find either Jhoira's Immolating Inferno. Oh, well, actually, we need to deal with Shalai first, don't we? Actually, we've got Khan's Temporal Sundering for that, so that's not too bad. Let's just play the redraw. 1 damage to each creature without flying is totally fine. We're not going to live long enough for that Chapter 3 to actually impact the board in any way. So, take an extra turn, bounce Shalai, draw a card. Now we can target our opponent. Good game, they say. Yeah, they've had enough. So, we draw 2 with Tezzeret. Hopefully we find a way to kill this token, and then we can Sunbird's Invocation. After that, see where we go. We've even got a draw on the Araska Relic. We've got a draw on the Locket. We've got a draw on the Cryptic Caves. We've got a draw on the Treasure Map. And we're casting things for free. The only thing left over is the excess mana, which we're flipping over Storm the Vault as well. So all the artifacts in play are going to be adding to the mana. So we should be able to make 17 with an Expansion Explosion or a Jhoira's Immolating Inferno there. Pretty good stuff. Alright, we managed to combo off. Even through a Shalai, stopping our opponent from being targeted. Really important piece there. I'm wondering if we could actually dealt with Shalai outside of that, because we've already used our Star of Extinction. I guess if one doesn't work, then the other. Yeah, you could probably just do Jhoira's Immolating Inferno, kill Shalai, and then when she's dead, draw into Expansion Explosion. Something along that lines anyway. Just having 2 instant kill buttons is probably going to be enough, and then we're drawing like 9 million cards as well. We should draw our entire deck on that extra turn and swing for lethal. So, good stuff. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's list. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for some more content like this in the future. Helps out the channel a great deal, and for engagement as well, which I really need right now. So, greatly appreciate anyone who leaves comments and likes and does all that stuff. If you want to share the video, go right ahead and do it. Play the deck yourself, it's a lot of fun. Without further ado though, I'm going to end it off here. Take care guys.